Foamy. What's up?
I'm already over it. I'm already over this episode
Of
SMSoup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup, the number one podcast with soup in the name but not in the brain. I'm Spencer.
I'm Shelby.
And together we're here to take you on a magical journey through all of life's biggest questions, including, waiter, how is...
the soup made?
Potentially the biggest question.
I think it is. Like, if there was a god...
Shelby! Oh.
Yeah, what's up?
If there was a god... No, keep going. I like where this is going.
I'd walk up to those big curly gates.
Okay.
And
do you envision God as, like, what does God look like to you?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, I think God should be a giant Labrador Retriever who goes, Have you been a good boy or girl? Exactly.
You know those, like, depictions of, like, what angels actually look like?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, like, this, like, fucking freak eye with, like, a wing.
Yeah, they're, like, normally terrifying.
And it's like, don't look at me!
Yeah. I like to comment
feel like
what angels actually look like.
Huh?
So I like to comment what angels actually look like.
Well, that's, like, their actual, like, depiction.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like God's like some freak thing like that.
Like, it's actually just like a ripped off like baby leg.
Yeah.
With like a beating heart kind of tied to it. And like that's it. And it's wearing a top hat. But not on the heart, on like the big toe. And that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. All things considered.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did you know? So, you know, I was smart not to look this up prior to going, but statistically speaking, your odds of dying while visiting Costa Rica are greater than being struck by lightning. I just made that up. I have no idea.
I was going to say, I was like, what?
No idea. No idea. We were in Costa Rica.
We were in Costa Rica. We were gone for 2 weeks. And so
that's why you got
chaotic, pre-recorded.
Great content.
Was that when we were updating about our gas tank in our car? Is that part of it?
Update about our car. It has a crack in the windshield.
Yeah, that is growing by the day.
That is growing.
By the day.
Should get it fixed.
Yep. Stay tuned for that one. Yeah, we were in Costa Rica for 2 whole weeks, which was great. Very beautiful weather. We went there technically during the rainy season.
And lucked out.
And lucked out very heavily. Because the rain only quote unquote ruined our day, like controlled what we could and couldn't do. Didn't even ruin anything.
It made us leave the beach twice.
Yeah. And then there was like one day inland that we like kind of were just like, oh, guess we're not doing anything. It was like half a day.
I don't think we were.
It was like one of our last days there.
Anything,
yeah.
no.
But we spent a week inland. Costa Rica has both a Caribbean side and a Pacific Ocean side. What are you looking at? You looked at your right hand. So we started about in the middle, I'll say, of the country.
You think you're better than me?
I just think I'm better than you. In the rainforest area. And then we went to the West Coast or the Pacific Ocean part and was there for a week enjoying the beach life. Both were great. That was all I had to say.
Cool. All right. So there you have it. Shortest episode of SMSoup.
Everyone's like, thank God. Did you have a good time, Spencer?
I did. Yeah, I had a great time. Well, I didn't know if I was supposed to, like...
You can say whatever you want.
Just start talking or not. I don't want to interrupt anything.
Oh, you would never.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
There's a lot of, like, really fun experiences. a lot of what's the word? Like, I can't think of the right word, so I'm just going to overly explain.
Love it.
Taking part in an experience that is like overtly educational and fun,
Mm-hmm.
and amidst that, becoming incredibly depressed
Mm-hmm.
because of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we had the opportunity to tour both coffee
Mm-hmm.
and cacao.
Mm-hmm.
And during both of those,
Yep.
they said that because of like climate changes and stuff like that, that it is just going to become incredibly like
Difficult.
more and more difficult to grow those things.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a 20 to 30 year like time frame.
Yeah. They're like anywhere from 30 to 50. Who knows what this could look like, basically. Which we're sitting there going, those are two of our favorite things. Chocolate.
30 and 50.
And coffee. Which it really cracked. I guess I shouldn't have been shocked by this, but it really kind of cracked me up that, especially for the cacao or chocolate production, very little production of chocolate happens in Costa Rica, according to like the tours we did and the people we talked to. Like it's all obviously like bought and shipped elsewhere where the actual production happens, which again isn't that shocking when I hear it, but I don't know why I just in my head was like some of it would happen here. And one person even told us that a lot of Costa Ricans actually prefer things like Hershey chocolate because they're just so sweet because they're basically just sugar. And that was very funny to hear. That
and also like
went there and they were like, we actually really love Hershey's, and we were like, what?
Yeah, that was funny.
Because I feel like here, if you're like my favorite chocolate's Hershey's, everyone's like, oh cool, you just love pure sugar. Like once you're older than like 12, if Hershey's is still your favorite, I feel like people are like,
I feel like a lot of people still probably say
I mean, I love Hershey's.
I feel like most people probably say Hershey's because it's like
so largely recognized.
Yeah, it's the most like global. And yeah, because they don't grow that much there, they don't really have, you know, a ton of like major Costa Rican chocolate brands.
No, they really didn't.
And if they do, most of them were 50% or higher.
Yeah.
So you and I were prepared.
We were.
It was dark chocolate galore. So us eating that 100%.
Yeah, weird.
My palate was so prepared.
We didn't have to eat anything like that on the tour, which was weird because we prepped for it and everything.
Yeah, I really thought. No, but we got to take like the actual like
cacao bean
out and like pop it in our mouths
like,
and
fresh
suck on it.
fruit.
And that was weird.
That was so weird.
That was a really weird sensation.
Yeah. I hated just plucking it out. It was in this like gross membrane stuff. But that was the part that was sweet.
Yeah. And no, then
that was coffee.
That was not coffee.
Oh, you're right. That was cacao.
Okay.
Hubby.
All right. And yeah, it wasn't sweet really. It was like it's kind of like tart.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, weird. Like yeah, I don't know how. And it was like a weird sensation in your mouth too. It was kind of like snot.
Yes, it's a very good way to describe it.
But it was good too.
It was good snot.
Yeah, but that was fun. I mean, like, yeah, it was just we got to do a lot of cool experiences like that, and both the coffee and the chocolate, like them being able to actually like taste it. Was great. We bought some coffee.
Hell yeah, we brought it back, baby.
To bring back with us. So like a lot of that stuff was like really cool, and then doing like the nature reserves and stuff like that.
It was a lot of educational excursions, I guess.
Not even like not even like
no, but I feel like the biggest thing is
educational in the
no, it's not, but it's a lot of just going outside and like looking around. Like as dumb as that sounds, like there's so much environmental diversity there that like isn't in a lot of the places in the US to
Mhm.
the degree that it is there. Especially because we don't really have tropical climates, obviously. Like unless you get close to like Florida and like the Keys. But even then, like not what you get down there.
No. I
So
mean,
it's
literally just flying over
yeah.
Costa Rica was nuts.
Yeah, it's just green.
I mean, it's so like dense,
Yeah.
lush, and
And just these little like villages and cities pop out
yeah,
in between just these mountains and forests and everything.
yeah, totally.
But yeah, it was great. We went whitewater rafting.
We did.
That was a lot of fun.
It was.
Were you stressed?
Yes.
It was a much more intense experience than any of us
I
anticipated.
just did not want to fall out of the fucking boat,
Yeah.
and then I did.
You didn't.
Fell out of the boat, and they told us on the way in. They were like, if you do, it's fine because your like life jacket has like a little pillow basically, so you can just like set your head back, and you're also wearing a helmet, so you don't have to really worry about the rocks. You just have to make sure you're on your back. And for the life of me, I could not get on my back. I was just on my front, and I was going head first down the rapids. I was just ping ponging off of rocks left and right, and I kept lifting my head up to see where I was going, just bashing into them. No, I didn't fall out of the boat.
No one fell out of our boat. We all did good.
Yeah.
But it was definitely an intense experience.
Way more intense than any of us, yeah. Like you said, any of us thought it would be.
My body was killing me. One of my nails like ripped off my finger because I kept slamming it into a ring on the side of the boat when I was paddling.
And the worst part about it was that you say about our bodies, like you're literally bracing the
Yeah.
entire time. You are
Oh, yeah.
so stiff
Yeah.
and like so locked.
Yeah. You're like sitting, so it's like it's a raft. So a big inflated boat. You're sitting up on the edge. Up on the edge of the raft. You're not like comfortably in it. You're like up on the edge, teetering
Right.
on the edge because that's how you actually paddle to like get a good grip on anything. And there were basically a bunch of commands where, in case this means anything to anyone, they were class 2 to class 3 rapids, which generally you can go up to a class 5, which is the most intense. And so we were about the halfway point. And you sit on the edge, and there were basically a bunch of commands. You had to like follow the like guide who like he was basically in the back, so he would steer while we were like the power behind like paddling. And it was just very funny. I think that was like, yeah, my only like second time ever in like an actual like group rafting experience. And my first one definitely wasn't that intense. Like, I don't even think there was like if anything happens, like I'm going to yell, get down. And like, you all have to like jump into the middle and like cover your heads basically and like pull your paddle up. I've literally never had that. And we had to do that so many times.
And mind you, the raft that we're on is probably 8 feet. 10 feet long?
Yeah, probably 10.
Because I'm trying to think about like if I were to lay out.
Probably maybe 10. 8 might be a better guess. I wouldn't be shocked.
So I'm 6'4", and it's
Yeah.
broken into
3 sections.
3.
4 with where the guide was sitting.
Was he in technically the same section
He
as
was-
that back one,
I
but
think he was
in
all
the
the way
back
in the
middle?
back. Yeah, he was all
Or
the
did
way
he
in the
also
back.
have like a divide?
I think he also had a divide.
So it's technically 4 sections.
Yeah.
And so it's broken up, I would say evenly though, across 3 sections.
Oh, but like you were saying about bracing yourself, the way you stay in the boat is there's one strap that you shove your front foot underneath.
That's only in the front.
And then
I didn't have that.
you had to go under our seat, under our quote unquote, what would have been our seat.
Oh.
So
I was just dangling my foot out.
my back foot was under that seat / like bracing my thigh against it, and then your foot was under that seat with your thigh bracing the seat you're next to / going under that. You're basically straddling. You're like half straddling, or kind of constantly in a squat position is what you're doing, and your legs are just bracing all of your stability.
What I wanted to go for though is that it's broken up into, so basically
sorry.
I have 3 feet of space, maybe.
Not even.
Probably 2
Yeah.
of between the seat
Yeah.
that my foot was under of you guys, because
Yeah.
even though your actual seat for your butt was
the edge of the tube.
boat.
Yeah.
and the seat behind me,
Yeah.
there's probably 2 feet maybe, and that's
Yeah.
also inflated, so it's
Yeah.
like air,
Yeah.
And so maybe you have like a foot and a half.
Yeah.
And then if they ever said get down, I needed to get down in between those two things.
It's definitely like 2 feet.
And have my knees up and my paddle in between my legs.
Yeah.
And I had to be down in.
Yeah.
I am 6'4".
Yeah.
That was damn near impossible.
It was hard, just hard in general. Like the amount, and you have to do everything like quick because we're just in like a pretty fast, for the sections where there are rapids, you're in a very fast moving river. And if we aren't paddling, our boat is just aimlessly moving. So it was a lot of like, forward, get down, back to position, forward, get down. And then, yeah, it was just yelling. And like myself and my sister were in the front. Like we were the quote unquote like navigators basically. And we could barely hear the guide over the rapids. And so like anything that we could hear, one of us was repeating. So the other person was sure to hear it. And that way we were both doing the same thing because the rest of the boat had to base their paddle off of our paddle timing. And so it was just chaos. It was a lot of fun. Definitely more intense than I thought it was going to be. But yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Would you go whitewater rafting again? Maybe if it was less of a rapid.
I would say, I mean, yeah, I would. I think I would do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it like if it was. What'd you say? It was class 2 and 3.
I think more 3, but yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 for the first like.
Yeah. I think they said 60%. They were primarily class 3 rapids, yeah.
And then maybe it was it wasn't that much more than 50-50, but it was definitely more towards class 3. But I feel like it wasn't like 3/4 of it or anything, right?
No. Like the whole experience, you mean?
Yeah.
No, like we were probably only in rapids for like, I don't even know if half of our river experience was rapids. It just feels so intense.
Do you think it was like 40-60?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. You're saying the actual rapids that we were in though never eclipsed 3.
Correct.
Yeah, no. I got you. I would do it if it was like 20% class 3.
Okay, you need less rapids.
Yeah.
Or maybe just not intense rapids.
Yeah, like I just need it to be.
Yeah.
But I do want to like pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
And like,
that's the fun.
Some water gets thrown in.
Yeah.
Like you might fall out.
Yeah.
I don't want to for. How long were we out there? 2 hours maybe?
Yeah.
I don't want for like
40 minutes.
40 straight minutes to be thinking,
I'm going to die.
I'm going to fall out. I'm going to fall out. I'm going to fall out. I'm going to fall out.
Yeah, no, I get that. You can do, I don't know the exact details, so I might be all saying this wrong. But in the Grand Canyon, you can like kayak through a huge chunk of that river.
Cool.
And I think at points there's like I've seen groups raft it, but I've also seen groups like individual kayak it. I think you do need like a skirted kayak. Like I don't think you could sit on top. I think there's a lot of rules to doing it, but I don't know all of them. And there's like a general like you basically go like canoe or kayak camping because it takes like a few days to do like the whole stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm following someone who's doing it right now. Like they never officially posted like this is what I'm doing, but I swear they've been like in that river.
Mm-hmm.
That looks sick to me. I think that would be so fun. I don't think that's as intense as what besides the fact that you're camping at night, but I don't think it was as intense as the stint we did.
I never camp at night. I only try to camp during the day.
But I've seen some videos where they're rafting it because
at night,
you bring so much gear
so that they don't need to camp.
that it's like easy to raft it. But there's only like 2 to 3 people per raft and everything else is just gear strapped in. And I've seen some photos where they looks like they're being like thrown up like into the air and just like attempting to like steer through all of it with like all of their gear strapped to the boat that they're on. It looks really insane.
That's crazy.
That would be sick though.
Okay.
That's it.
You want to do that?
I don't know, maybe.
Is that like on your bucket list?
I don't know. Do I really have a bucket list? Do you have a bucket list?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your bucket list? I'm ready. Hit me.
You want me to go through like all of it?
Or at least just like top few.
Okay.
Do you really have that big of a bucket list?
It's probably like up to 123 things or something like
Whoa,
that.
123.
Yeah. Maybe
How-
124.
How'd you get that high? You know every item on this list?
I think I can fairly confidently like I feel like I can fairly confidently off the top of my head like list most of it.
Okay, what's your top 5 of your bucket list? Or some of 5 of your bucket list? Doesn't have to be top.
Okay. 2 girls at the same time.
I knew this was going to be absolutely ridiculous.
No, I don't really have a bucket list.
Remember when we had to make one in middle school?
Yeah. I think all the things I put on there was like go to every baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Go to every basketball arena. I just did all sports and like concerts, like go to certain states, go to certain countries. It was such an easy
You're
way
like,
to
go
like
to
fill it
Iowa.
out. Yeah.
Top state,
No,
Iowa.
I probably said like go to every single state or something like that.
I think I did that.
Which like I don't want.
I would still do.
Yeah, I would. So I do want to do that, but how do you mean that?
I just want to like. I'd be happy to just drive through every state.
Yeah.
I don't need to like,
I don't
see
need.
it.
Yeah, like I don't need to stop.
Like I think I was in North Dakota, and I think I drove to South Dakota to say I was there. Took a photo at the sign and went back to North Dakota.
You did that?
Well, I wasn't driving, but I was in that experience. Like my family did that. And that's like what I would do.
How old were you?
Probably like 14, 15.
And you had like the awareness of
Yeah.
like I'm
That
so
I'm-
close to South Dakota.
Well, my parents were like, we're 25 minutes away from the South Dakota border.
Uh-huh.
Do you just want to go to the border?
Okay.
And we were like, sure.
All right.
And then we went, took
Okay.
a photo, and we turned back around. That was it.
Cool.
But I'm saying that thought process I would still do today. Like I would do that willingly.
Yeah.
Because like, do I really need to
I don't
like...
need to hang out in North Dakota.
I do want to go to Iowa.
Okay. Like I think it's like Nebraska also. I don't think there's really anything.
That's probably so mean. I love joking like
I don't
that.
think it is.
I love saying stuff like that. Like to me, it's very funny. Like we made a joke because when we were in Costa Rica, everyone we were generally touring with was from the United States. And so people would be like, where are you from? And everyone would say what state. And I felt like as soon as someone said a state, you'd go like, of course you're from that state. Like it's just like the US loves
there was
to
a
make
classic
fun.
Florida man.
There was a Florida man. But the US, the fun thing about the United States is making fun of other states, even though like you were most likely born there. And like maybe left, maybe didn't, and like that's not your choosing.
Yeah, no, but
It's
it
just
makes
really
you reflect
funny.
on the fact that your parents suck.
It's just really funny to joke about different states for really no reason.
There are certain states that I feel like it's impossible to like give them any shit.
Like
Tennessee.
why not give them shit?
Because they're the only Tennessee. Like, what's bad about Tennessee?
Weren't they ones trying to pass all the like anti-transgender laws? Literally like a few weeks ago. Fuck Tennessee.
Maybe. Okay.
Fuck the law in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Obviously not people in Tennessee.
I was more so like, I'm not attacking North Dakota because of their politics. I'm attacking
That's
North
fair.
because
I don't know North Dakota politics.
There's fucking nothing there.
Beautiful land.
Well,
I'm
there's
sure.
nothing there, so I think I can imagine what their politics are. That's not fair. I can't wait for North Dakota to be the most blue state ever. Okay, that's fair. But like, I mean, like,
No, I hear you.
Like when I'm talking about like what a shit state you live in,
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
definitely normally not talking like, you know, fuck Texas for its laws, but like Texas has a lot going for it, obviously, in terms of happening, and it also has a lot of bumblefuck nowhere because it's so massive.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we
met so many people from Ohio.
Dude.
It was scary to ask anyone where they were from.
Because if they said Ohio, I was like gonna punch them. I immediately got like violent. I was like, Come on. Say it.
Yeah. Too many people from Ohio.
I mean, one person, I don't know if you remember this.
Mm-hmm.
The one person literally started saying it. They were like, oh, and I cocked my fist back.
Yeah.
And then they said Omaha. And I went, oh, shit.
Right.
That would have been embarrassing.
And you went, wow, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. That fucking sucks. I live in Charlotte, one of the best upcoming cities.
Yeah.
Soon I won't be able to afford living here.
Yeah, fact. But yeah, I would drive to every state. Just going back to that. I kind of want, okay, I can't tell if this is crazy and unattainable or a cool idea, which is not an original idea. I've literally seen other people do this. You want
to do one trip where you travel through every state?
I want to.
You want to do one trip where you travel through all the states?
I want to
try and do a trip where you
all of the United States national parks. There's a lot of them.
There's got to be what, like 17?
I think there's a little bit more than 17.
By the time we start making our way through the list, I'm willing to bet there will only be 17.
17 Boom. Left. Yeah, probably.
Take that, America.
At this rate. I'm going to Google it. How many?
This is good vamping.
U.S. Well, you're going silent, so that's what I'm doing.
I'm just watching.
Parks.
I'm just checking out what's going on here.
Are there?
In the world.
There are a total of 423, but there is an elite group of 63.
So do you want to do all 400 or do you want to do the elite group?
I think I followed someone who did the elite 63. Although I feel like I thought they were in like the 68 range, so they might have chosen like the few extras that were important to them. But it basically, one, almost pushes you into every state, and two, yeah, that's it. I just think that would be sick, to see all of them. Maybe not, but there are 63 that include national park as their proper name. So I guess that's what makes them the elite.
Okay.
Those are that's the signifier to them being an elite park.
I'm down to do that.
63.
I'm down to do all 63. I am not down to do 400. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, that's a lot. I don't want to do 400.
I care about nature. I don't care about it that much.
Yeah, that's fair.
To see it 400 times.
Yeah, I
have to look outside every day. I appreciate you. Okay. You keep growing, Tree. But your brothers and sisters in 400 other, fuck them.
Fuck them. This is also a tangent because we just talked about national parks for 2 seconds. Yellowstone.
The show?
Nope. Is having huge issues. Yellowstone and I know you probably don't know the answer to this, but are the geysers like in the hot water springs in Yellowstone?
I think so.
I think so too. Okay. They're literally having like huge issues with tourists because people are touching the hot water springs, which even calling them like a spring is like, I feel like misleading. Like you don't touch them. Like they are boiling water, and literally dumb people are climbing over said fences that like you follow a path. Like it's like going on a boardwalk, but there's rails on both sides of you. You're walking on this wooden path. You literally can't go wrong because it's a wooden path that clearly you don't jump over the fence and walk on grass because it's hot fucking water, pools of hot water all around you. You can smell the fucking sulfur in the air, and idiots are climbing over it. And like there was literally a video of a woman like crawling to the edge and putting her hand in it and then like grabbing her hand and like screaming because it burned the shit out of her.
That's hardcore.
That's stupid. And then
did she sue?
I don't know. I hope not.
I hope she does and fails.
I mean, me too, but I don't know how, on what grounds she would have. There's a fucking railing that you clearly climbed over or something. And people are getting in tons of trouble because they're approaching like bison and stuff. He's about to go up. Grogu's found a new climbing activity that we do not approve of. and he gets very mad. But we are having to distract him from going up there. And people are getting in trouble because they keep approaching bison or different like large animals, but like bison are like the big ones up there. And literally like bison, like you obviously one just shouldn't approach a wild animal. One, duh. Two, there people are getting like chased because you're approaching
by bison.
Yeah, because you're approaching a bison.
That's gotta be horrifying.
One man picked up a baby bison and was carrying it around, and then apparently it had to get put down because the herd wouldn't take it back. The baby bison I wish the man got put down, but the baby bison got put down because the herd wouldn't take it back, and it like couldn't care for itself because it was so young. Like that is like a raging issue. Specifically, Yellowstone's been posting about it. I'm sure it's an issue at other parks, but like people are being so dumb. Like why? Like why? It's literally like basic, like just like human decency and thinking. Like I actually don't get it. It's not like they ask you anything crazy when you're there.
Yeah.
You know, just like be smart. I just don't get it.
Literally follow basic rules.
Very basic rules.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, that goes for so many things.
I know. I could rant about people's stupidity about a lot of stuff, but I just saw that very recently because literally they like Yellowstone came out and they were just like, we honestly don't know what to do. Like, we can't watch every person who steps foot in this park.
Right.
The idea is you should be able to come in and like enjoy the space and like not feel like you're being like supervised. Like what the fuck? But yeah. That was my rant about people being in national parks at the moment.
I can't believe somebody picked up a baby bison.
I know. Like what's wrong with you?
I can't believe somebody put their hand in.
I know, and there's like literally people were there taking like video and photo because I'm sure.
Don't they like go off?
The geysers do. The hot springs don't. They're like kind of two different things.
Gotcha. Okay.
I could totally be wrong. I was there when I was like 14, 15, so I don't remember everything.
That's fine.
But
I mean, did anybody like go and like play chicken with the geyser?
No, because you have to stay super far away from them. You literally
okay,
like,
but yeah, you just said you have to stay away from the hot springs, and people weren't doing that. So I'm imagining.
But I'm saying like when you're at the hot spring, like you're a lot closer because they don't just like erupt or anything. So like you are like standing here, and they're like a few yards away.
But
I know. I'm sure some idiot has tried.
So like what? It's like a football field away from you?
What?
The geysers.
Sure. Let's say that.
Okay.
They're pretty far away.
So I mean, an NFL player can
just take
do
off
the field in like 8 seconds.
So we need
the
an
average
NFL
American
player,
can probably do it in, I don't know, the average
like 10
American
minutes.
thinks they can do. That's probably the right answer.
But yeah, people suck. Be smart when you're doing anything. Just don't be dumb is the answer.
I mean, especially when you're doing something with nature. Like
literally.
Nature is so incredibly hardcore that it could fuck you up in a second.
Like, have you ever seen a video of a stingray eating anything? That's hardcore.
That is.
And they're smiling the whole time.
We watched a video of a toucan eating a baby owl.
Oh, yeah. That was intense.
That is fucked up on so many levels.
Because we saw it from a tour guide in Costa Rica, and he goes, it's a little intense, but that's okay. You should see it. And we were like, okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, fair.
Like, it always goes back to that thing where it's just like, we are just categorically so stupid.
Yes, absolutely.
As the most advanced species.
Right.
Like, we are, on average, so fucking stupid.
Right.
To the point where the average person thinks that they can fight a bear. It's like, no.
Literally not. Not even
a bear
close.
would fuck you up.
Yeah. We're like so stupid because we think we're so intelligent.
There's also a trend going around, just kind of piggybacking off of that, where like like women are asking their significant others if they think they could land a commercial airplane in an emergency. And like 99%
I'm
of the
guessing it's
time,
mostly women like asking men, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Sorry,
trend. No, you're fine. I was just giving.
That is that is
because it
what
feels
it
like a
is.
very. Do you think as a man you could
it's
do?
It's girlfriends asking their boyfriends. It's
Yeah.
wives asking their husbands
Yeah.
specifically in heteronormative situations. Yes.
Yeah.
But asking if they think they can land a plane,
I'm guessing like 90%.
a commercial airplane in an emergency. And yeah, and it's just like I don't have that level of confidence in anything that I do.
Yeah.
Like literally sitting here talking right now, I don't have the confidence to land an airplane.
I definitely don't.
I don't have the confidence to finish this episode.
I don't know.
You know, it's going to happen. But I don't have that high of confidence. It's over. I'm ending it.
I'd consider myself like a relatively confident person. But if I've had literally zero training in something and then there's an emergency on top of that, I know I'm fucked. Like, I'm not the person anyone should be calling for help. You know? And I'm very aware of that. If for some reason I'm only person on said commercial...
I'm only person.
I
am only person.
On some commercial airplane, and I'm the only thing between maybe not dying or dying anyway. I'm gonna try.
The question isn't, are you going to give it the college effort?
Right.
No, the question is, will you do it? Will you succeed? Are you going to fucking Denzel Washington land this plane upside down if you fucking have to?
Right.
And every single one of them's like, yes. That's it. There's no like, I think in an emergency, that I think I could remain calm enough.
Right.
No, it's just
yes.
one word, yes, period.
Absolutely not. I could never. I don't have that fake confidence. That ignorant confidence almost.
I think those are the people we need to like lock away.
You think so?
Yeah,
people who have that much confidence.
Like I think, yeah. Because that's not confidence anymore.
No, that's almost arrogance. It's a lot of arrogance.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
That's to the level of okay. Follow-up question: you're on an airplane, and they ask if there's a doctor on the plane, and nobody has said yes for about 3 minutes. Do you stand up and say yes because you can handle a medical emergency? And every single one of them is probably also going to say yes to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's horrifying to me that there are people who think that they can just fly a plane.
Yeah.
Well, anymore these days, these things fly themselves. Fuck you.
So super quick, wrapping up, talking about travel. I read this article while we were in Costa Rica. I saw this on TikTok and read the actual article. It was from the New Yorker by Agnes Callard, published on June 24th. And it's their weekend essay, The Case Against Travel. The subtitle is, It Turns Us into the Worst Version of Ourselves While Convincing Us We're the Best. So it's not like a long read or anything. It's literally a magazine article. But I did think it was interesting. Not to say I like 1000% agree with everything, but I thought it was definitely an interesting viewpoint. And like, I think brings up a lot of like valuable things that aren't talked about. Basically, this individual is saying like I hate when people, their thing about themselves is like, I love to travel, because it's like everyone loves to like do stuff, like obviously, but it's used.
Well,
everyone says it, right?
What do you love to do? I love to play video games. Yeah, well, everybody loves to do stuff, Spencer. Okay, you asked.
But okay, this person is saying, I hate when people say like, I love to travel. They said this tells you very little about a person, because nearly everyone likes to travel, yet say it because for some reason they pride themselves both on having traveled and on the fact that they continue to look forward to doing it.
There is definitely a stigma around, or not stigma, but like class,
yes,
elitist,
yes,
connotation to being well traveled,
yeah,
or having traveled a lot.
And definitely in the way it's talked about too.
That people take pride in it,
yeah.
even if the travel that they're doing is completely meaningless.
Yeah.
They think that this sets them aside.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
Yeah. So this person is basically saying they did cite a lot of like poets and writers and things throughout generations who
Edgar Allan Poe?
nope, not Edgar Allan Poe, who have like heavily argued that traveling really doesn't do anything for you.
Robert Frost?
Nope, not Robert Frost. Try Ralph Waldo Emerson.
He was going to be my third guess.
Yeah. A lot of very interesting quotes. Stephen King is not in here.
He's not a poet.
I said writer.
Oh.
Poets and writers.
Oh. Salinger?
Nope, no Salinger.
Minaj?
Nope.
Nikki, of course.
Nope. A lot of like interesting quotes and thought process by different again writers and whatnot throughout the years who have argued that like you're kind of, when you travel, you are just looking to collect something. You're not looking to grow. You're not looking to learn. Or if you like say that you are, you're like seeking out things just because you're told that's what you're supposed to do there. You're not trying to connect to anything. You're most certainly, and again, this is all from the angle of this, you're most certainly not trying to truly connect with anyone, because they literally were like, I went to Paris and all I did was like sit there analyzing French people in their Frenchness. Like, I'm just there being like, whoa, like this is French people. And it's like, you're not going to make friends by sitting there being like, oh, so this is how the French do it. Like, you're sitting there like analyzing who they are as people. And that's not to say that it can never be like an interesting thing, but you're not sitting there being like, wow, I really want to be connected to these people and where I am. Like, you're just sitting there being like, oh, so this is Paris. Very cool. Like, I don't know. They also brought up a situation where they went to a like falcon rescue and animal hospital, and they were like, I don't care about falcons, but I read that's what you're supposed to do here. And like this animal hospital had like best tourism award. Like, an animal hospital had a tourism award, and they're like, I don't care about falcons. I still don't care about falcons, but because it said to do that, I went to a falcon rescue and animal hospital. And it's just interesting because literally you go to a place and it's like, well, what does it say you should do here? And you like go and do it whether you care about that or not. And again, it's not to say you can never expand what you're interested in. It's not to say you can't try new things, but it's a very interesting way of seeing tourism as you're basically just driving somewhere. They said it's an act of locomotion, because you're literally just going somewhere to like basically just like walk around, drive around, and do things that like, are they really going to mean anything to you as soon as you go home? You like, they called traveling a boomerang effect of you start in this one place and when you come back, you're back in that same place. You're not supposed to grow. You're not hoping to, or although you'll talk about it, like it was like life changing.
Yeah.
But they were like, when you like know people who've traveled, do they really do anything different when they get back? Like, was it anything of growth? Was it anything of expanding their knowledge, or like, wow, it's so crazy how this culture does this. Like, I should change how I do it. Like, that doesn't happen ever. But it doesn't happen.
Normally
Not for how we talk about tourism in 2023, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was very interesting. Again, not to say I like wholeheartedly agree with everything, but it speaks a lot to the like collecting of travel. How, like, you know, I think it's really good to have a bucket list. I think it's exciting to want to experience things, but also just feeling the need to like collect all these photos to say you've done something. Are you doing it to show off that you've done the thing?
Right. And that's why I'm like, I feel like with the places that I do want to go, I'm very specific.
Yeah.
Because I think with one of them, it's about the overall experience of what we'll hopefully do there and like get to see and get to like be around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like in other instances, like how culturally different a place is. Mm-hmm. And there are some where it's like you already see the online view of a
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
But what is it actually like when you integrate yourself into it for like an extended period of time?
Yeah.
And is there something that you can like bring back from it? Because I think like you can learn a lot from
Oh,
cultures and how they
absolutely.
do things, and
Yeah.
like squirting your asshole uh after you've sat on the toilet. Maybe that's something we could all learn. I'm just saying, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That was the top example you
A
could come up
bidet.
with. Yeah. Yeah.
uh no, I think that makes like a ton of sense. You're right. Like, or they're right. People constantly go places and then come back and literally continue to take for granted everything that they constantly have available to them.
Right.
I mean, that was the huge thing, I think, for you and I, at least while we were in Costa Rica, is that like there's so much that you take for granted
Oh my God. Yeah.
when you're there, and you like it makes you realize it. And 3 weeks from now, I probably
Won't think
will.
about it.
Yeah, I probably will immediately start taking
Yeah.
things like our internet and electricity and
Constant AC if you want it.
constant AC for granted,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It is so interesting. Which I mean it's a huge conversation obviously and like privilege and whatnot. But it I really do I mean I know like the United States and like Europe and all of these countries that have like really climbed to the top in terms of like, ooh, look at us and like we got everything. It is really wild to me our baseline of need and how that is like it's definitely good to have an above standard of living. Like that's good. You shouldn't have to just be meeting a standard of living, which there's plenty of people in the US and Europe who are not meeting a standard of living. Like it's not like everyone here has got it all. Like that's definitely not the situation. But as a whole, like our baseline of need is so above the actual like survival level, like so above it. It like absolutely blows my mind sometimes. Like when I really sit and I think about it, or like I've just watched like a video talking about like different cultures or different places in the world. Like it really does blow my mind. And I feel like there's people, especially in like the environmentalism and like different social justice spaces who are like heavily arguing like we people who definitely consume way above what we should be consuming, like whatever that may be, we need to like step back. Like we're imbalancing everything. Like we're taking way more than we need and like causing a huge imbalance globally, socially, like environmentally, economically. And when you say that, you immediately are like taking something away from someone and you're the bad guy, even though like, and don't get me wrong, like some people can say it in a really intense manner that if you've never thought about it, you're like, whoa, don't go taking away this from me. Like I can see the immediate like abrasion to that, but how is it not like glaringly obvious? Like, and again, we have way more than we need. Like I'm not sitting here being like, we live with the bare minimum. Like we definitely fucking don't. But like, I feel like at least we can acknowledge like, what we have and the way past capacity of need we've reached. And so many people like can't. And just trying to even have a conversation around like, oh, I just like really try not to take in a whole lot more because I'm already aware of what I have. You're like a crazy person if you say that. And you're not even telling someone else to change what they're doing. You're just saying like, oh, I like to be conscious of like what I take in, of what I'm consuming, of what I'm supporting, of what I'm doing this. And they basically are acting like, oh great, another tree hugger. Like that's basically the like talking point that's used, but in different words, obviously. And that's just absolutely mind blowing to me. Because it's just like, yeah, it just like drives me crazy. I feel like all of those talking points are my brain 80% of the time. But obviously, yeah, especially visiting a country that like doesn't have what we have, it's like, How are you not like literally humbled to your core? But then of course you're immediately gonna go back into a society where what you have is normal. And so you like within 3 weeks you're gonna like move. And again, I'm going to like I'm not trying to say I'm any different. Like I'm also not gonna like in 2 weeks I'm not gonna fucking think about it. Maybe every now and then I'll be like, wow, yeah, like we have a lot of shit. We don't need it. And like how much of the world doesn't have like half what we have?
How much of our own country doesn't
How much
have?
of our own country doesn't have?
Yep.
People in our own city don't have what we have. Like,
Yep.
it's just so frustrating. So frustrating. And it's like all connected. And that's it. I'm done ranting because I'm not going to go anywhere. There's no like.
Bit of a Spencer rant.
It is a bit. Yeah.
You okay?
Fine.
Is your heart rate up?
Oh, it's fine. I'm not that angry. I mean, I'm angry, but I'm not like raging. It's just so frustrating. And with the level of globalization the internet has reached, like it should be even more obvious. But it's not. It's not. So many people. That's it. That's all. If you're going to travel as respectfully as possible. If you're going to be in nature, don't be a piece of shit. I mean, just don't be a piece of shit in general. To people, to places, things.
Nouns.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. We had a great time. It was great.
Okay. It was.
But I'm definitely happy to be home. I'm actually excited to be home because we didn't really get a chance to like do anything here before leaving. And so we finally get to start, I'd say, like integrating ourselves into being here, which I'm very excited about. So that's it. The end. I guess for a few more weeks, we're almost kind of like tourists here too, huh?
Oh, you.
Bye.